Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Joseph from the Otaku Brothers podcast, and I wanted to do this short little video. One, because we're not having our normal podcast video up Monday, just because it was Father's Day weekend. We were on a streak, I know, I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was Father's Day weekend. Ben and I were both busy doing stuff with our family, and I'm going to be going out of town this week, so we're not going to be able to have a traditional podcast episode uploaded. So I just kind of wanted to make this short video talking about something that I'm really passionate about. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll be having our normal podcast back Friday, where we'll be talking mostly about the Demon Slayer final episode and overall my final thoughts and Ben's final thoughts on season 3 as a whole. And then we'll also probably talk about Hell's Paradise, Love Story, as there everything's pretty much wrapping up for the season, and then kind of chilling before Bleach, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, and Rent a Girlfriend season 3, I believe, come out in July. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We still got a lot of stuff to talk about, so stay tuned. But nonetheless, let's get into the meat and potatoes of what I'm here to talk about today. So basically, Netflix finally came out. They were very busy, Netflix. Let me just show you a couple of the stuff before we get into the main thing we're talking about. Netflix also came out and released their One Piece trailer. It was pretty cool. I don't want to. Oh, that's not a good picture. It's show off. But yeah, there's Zoro, Luffy, a couple shots. I think what's this guy's name? Usopp. So yeah, they basically were busy showing off their stuff. And they came out with the One Piece trailer for the live action, which I'm not going to talk about too much just because I don't watch One Piece. I watched the trailer. It looked solid. But then again, so did Cowboy Bebop's live action, and that was not good either. But yeah, anyways, nonetheless, Netflix was busy releasing stuff. And one of the things that they came out and did was basically they released their new Avatar: The Last Airbender live action adaptation. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. They released their Avatar: The Last Airbender live action adaptation cast. We've already had the cast. Just some images of the main characters, and I wanted to talk about them with y'all today because I have a lot to say. So I guess first let's just go through and look at the images here. So here we got Aang. This is what Aang looks like. So yeah, that's Aang. We have Katara. We got Sokka, and then we got Zuko. Okay, so yeah, pretty much I'm going to be breaking this down a bit. I know it's only 4 images to go off of, but it already says a lot about where the show is going, and yeah. So nonetheless, let's just get right started into it. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is that Aang looks like a kid. I mean, we knew this from the cast that we got. He's full on a kid. I think in the actual cartoon on Nicktoons, he's like 11 years old when the show starts. So he's a kid. He's supposed to be a little guy. He's supposed to be a kid. So it seems like they're going with accuracy in that regard, which is probably better than how M. Night Shyamalan's adaptation went with his live action adaptation, which we'll begin into in a bit. So yeah, that's Aang. As you can see, it literally looks like his exact outfit from the cartoon. Literally down to the T. Tattoos exactly the same. He's bald. It's literally the exact same. You got a staff. His outfit is fully the same. Then moving on to Katara, similarly to what I said, it's pretty much the same. The girl looks probably around the same age as Aang. She's probably a bit older, a couple years older. So yeah, she's older. Like I said, pretty much the same thing in regards to the outfit is basically similar to how Katara starts out in the very beginning of Avatar. So yeah, same with Sokka, basically the same thing. Obviously he's a bit older, it looks like, but that's how he is in the cartoon. Then yeah, look, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it's boomerang there. So that's awesome. Yeah. So we got the same gear. This is probably in the Water Nation tribe, or South Water Nation tribe, it looks like, from the very beginning. Which is probably where the first season of the show is going to take place, since we get this shot of Zuko as well, who's in the whole gear and all that stuff. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make here is that right off the bat, if you're looking at these 4 images, it looks exactly like how they do in the cartoon, which comes with a lot of negatives, in the sense that it looks too cartoony, man. It looks too cartoony, dude. It's very rough and easy to tell that this is like very cartoony. My point being, like, let's go back to look at Aang here. I mean, literally, it looks like somebody is cosplaying Aang, dude. Like, this does not look like how someone would dress in real life. And obviously, I know it's a show, it's a cartoon, but it just takes away from the reality of what a character should look like in real life. I watched Joey the Anime Man He's an awesome YouTuber. If you guys haven't heard of him, he's one of the Trash Taste guys. He broke down similarly to how Luffy and Zoro look as well in One Piece, in the sense that, well, although some characters like Usopp don't have like their traditional long noses, it's still very easily to tell that they look exactly like their characters from One Piece. And to me, that kind of makes it feel more like cosplay. It doesn't seem like it seems like what you're doing is literally going scene by scene from a cartoon and putting it in live action, which is what I don't want. I want a new style with, that pays homage to the original but still does its own thing and adds its unique flair and touch to it, not literally a carbon copy. And that's exactly what it feels like with this. It seems lifeless, it seems like a cartoon, and it just seems like too childish, which obviously it's a kid's show, but in the sense that like there's no effort being put into it, man. That's how it felt in Cowboy Bebop as well. I mean, like their outfits look normal, or their outfits looked like they did in the anime, and then it just literally just tries to rely on that, and it's just like, no, dude, it's just like this is not how it should be. Yeah, I just think that puts up a lot of issues. Similar with Katara and Sokka. I mean, their outfits are exactly the same in the cartoon, and it just seems lifeless. So here we go. I brought up some footage of the early on. Here we have Aang, Katara. This isn't from the very first episodes, but Aang, literally look at that. Exactly the same outfit that we have here. It's the exact same. It's just like it doesn't fit well with reality. What you should do is focus on changing an outfit and going off of it and adding its own flair and uniqueness to, I guess, reality, right? So it's just like it looks unnatural and it doesn't look real, which is what a lot of people have issue with adapting cartoons or anime into television in real life. It's that it doesn't make logical sense, which is weird to believe, which is weird to say, because it feels like cartoons and anime, obviously they're not supposed to be real, right? But when you're adapting it to reality in real life, it still needs to have that weird. It shouldn't fall into an uncanny valley, which is what it feels like this is doing, like fully, where it feels like this just seems unnatural and like people like shouldn't be dressing like this. You know what I mean? So I think that's one big issue with it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's only 4 images to go off, but that's one issue. That's the biggest issue I have with it. I mean, nothing wrong with the actors. They all look great. They look like they're going for their ages, which is perfectly fine, because if that means that they want to do this show long term, which I really hope they do, and I hope it's amazing, that's good, because, they start off young and they mature and grow with the show, as did the characters in the cartoon, which would be awesome. Now, that being said, I will say some positives. I think that I appreciate that they're going for, a better adaptation, it seems, than M. Night Shyamalan's, whose adaptation was just horrible. Here's a clip right here. This is the scene where, this one horrendous scene. This is how not to do an Avatar movie. We see them pull up, and dude, check this out. Look at this. So first of all, his tattoos. See, it's weird. It's so hard with movies, right? Because this is too unnatural, right? I mean, or this, it seems like it's going for a more natural look, and normally I wouldn't have a problem with it. This tattoos are fine. I will say I really like the designs of this movie a bit better, but I still think that there has some issues with it. See, obviously their attire is not exactly how it looks like in the cartoon. Exactly, it's not really it's not flat. It's not two-dimensional. It feels like with those other clothing, it feels like it's just flat, and that it's not really giving its own flair or anything. But yeah, so that's just one example. I did like the clothing, I guess, better, and it's not, I don't know, it's hard to, it's so hard to talk about. But yeah, so, and then another thing here is what not to do with an Avatar movie. These are just some simple no-nos. I guess where's the clip? Here it is. So yeah, this is the main scene. To firebend, they have to have fire already established. They have to have fire. It's like you haven't even seen the cartoon, man. It comes out of your hand. It's outrageous. It's crazy. It's cruel. And then here we go. Oh, this is the best scene ever. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Let me fast forward this. Look at this. It takes, what is that, 6? Yep, it takes 6 earthbenders to move a fucking rock. That's crazy, man. Look at that, dude. That's so lame. So anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say here, as I rambled on about clothing for like 10 minutes, I'm very worried about this adaptation. I think that there is a very, very thin line that you have to follow when creating an Avatar adaptation, when creating any adaptation of a cartoon to reality. You don't want to fall into two different mediums. One where you end up like this with 6 earthbenders moving one rock, which is not at all how it works in the show. And then you don't want to, at the same time, flow into this gray area where, hey, let's just follow everything strictly from the cartoon and not care how it looks in reality, and let's just fully adapt a cartoon to reality. And it's just, then it just looks all uncanny and looks very cringe and just very childish, in the sense that, not childish in the sense that this is a show for kids, but in the sense of this is not how a normal person would act in reality. So I think it's a very hard line to follow, and it seems like this is treading more down that line of let's just do it the cartoony way. Now I will say the One Piece trailer that aired today did feel like it was trying to go more for that thin line of, hey, we're gonna, pay homage to these characters. We're still like doing similar stuff with our outfits, but at the same time we're adding that reality flair to it that is different from the manga and anime, right? And I feel like with this, I'm worried because obviously we've all seen Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I don't know if y'all have, but it does not walk that thin line at all. It's not good. It's a very mid show, and it just sucks because I love Avatar so much. I'm a huge Avatar fan, and I just really want to see its potential and see the show go down the path that I know it can, which is success. Yeah, and this worries me. This worries me a lot. I mean, from the background shots, it looks like it's fine. We're in the South Pole where the show takes place, or at the Southern Water Tribe. That's what it's called, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I think that you need to be careful with these sort of things. And from these shots, it kind of worries me. Zuko, I will say, he looks fine. This looks all right. But see, like, even the helmet, dude, it looks so, like, cheap and plastic, and it looks like it looks the exact same in the cartoon. It looks the exact same, and it's just like, dude, when you're just using these flat, I mean, look at their shirts. It is 2 colors. You're telling me a normal person would wear that stuff? That's not how it works. So, I don't know. That's just my concern. I love Avatar, and I just wanted to voice my opinion on it. I'm not trying to bash this adaptation at all. I'm just voicing my concern, and that I think that it's something that people should be aware of. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion and my thoughts. I just wanted to have a video to upload because I didn't want to have not a video to go out. So that's just how I feel about it. I think the show's coming out, it says right there, in 2024. Very, very interesting. See, I mean, if you even read the comments, soon we will understand that sometimes these things are not meant to be recreated. Exactly. There's a lot of thoughts you can go in with it. People playing homage to the original and not replace it. See, but this feels like it's just trying to replace it, dude. It seems like with these outfits that it's going off of, it seems like it's just trying to replace it. That's what it feels like. I'm sorry. Yeah, I will say, as bad as M. Night Shyamalan is, I think his outfits, I think he was trying to balance it in reality, but he went too far. He went too out of the way. He went way out of the way with it being like you have to have fire already, so that way it's not as cartoonish where fire is coming out of your hands. But it's like then it becomes like, okay, well, this is just stupid. So, like I said, a very thin line. It's a very rough line, which is why you don't see many adaptations of anime and cartoons adapted well. I mean, look at Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball. There's so many. The list goes on and on. Full Metal Alchemist, even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like some things are just meant to stay in cartoon and anime, man. I don't know. I'm really worried. Netflix doesn't have a good track record. I mean, like I just said, Death Note and Cowboy Bebop, man. It's rough. It's looking rough. I don't know. But that's just my opinion. Love you guys. Stay tuned for some more stuff. Hopefully some more positive stuff. But yeah, peace.